pregame set with the Detroit Tigers. Now coverage begins at 2:30 tomorrow with the We're going to remind you several times today, the times of those games have all changed. And wind chills really in the teens. So they've decided to play the games while the sun is... Yankees down 2-1 as we start the fourth. Chisholm grounds one foul.
Talking about the Yankees offensively in their hot start to the year, and one that came right back and answered with 6 in the fifth.
1-2. The first swing and a miss, kind of a late hat. One away. That'll bring up Anthony Volpe. Leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State. First 8 games of the season. Jeter and Gregor. Volpe with 7. You know, the entire team really is. 299 is second in baseball. The Cardinals surprisingly lead baseball with a Cruz, and he makes the play to take a base hit.
That is an unbelievable play and a great jump and another hard hit baseball. Making that transition from shortstop to center field.
And the pitch to Wells, up and away. The 2-0. There's a strike. Yankees have had 5 games scoring 9 or more runs in their first 8 games. Then Indians in 1999 had 6 such games. Cruz can't get that one, and it gets by him, and a third, and that's where he'll stop. We'll see how the outs.
O'Neill Cruz robbed Anthony Volpe of a base hit, and just a lazy effort right there. And Austin Wells hoping it's going to get down for a hit. Now you get on your horse.
Quickly 0-2.
Knock it down at the very least.
And they call it a triple. And that's Wells' second. He strikes out, leaving Wells stranded at third. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. And a strike. One and one on Hayes. He is 4 for 9. IKF leads off second. Pitch outside, 2-2. Missed the outside corner. That could be it. Got him. 3 hits. Decisions presented by Sage.
Well, we're going to take a look at Andrew Heaney, who has 8 strike curveball to get Dominguez. Has not walked.
Yankees down by 3.
57% of his pitches are fastballs, but we've seen a lot of changeups. There's a changeup to Peraza. We've seen some sweepers, some curveballs, a lot more off.
There's Trent Grisham, one of the Yankees' 4 hits. Grounded first base. Valdez on the backup makes the play, and instead 2 outs here in the 5th. Back to the top of the order, and Paul Goldschmidt.
First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
Enough.
Again, that approach against left-handed pitching, just look out over the plate. If there's against an off-speed pitch from a left-hander right there by Goldschmidt.
On Bellinger. Bellinger infield single, stolen base, and a run scored in the first. Struck out in the 3rd. We're in the fifth.
Well, Cody Bellinger's going to learn that when you're hitting in front of Aaron Judge, Heaney's probably going to want to take care of Bellinger before Judge gets up.
The play for the final out. No runs ahead at one.
If you're the Yankees, you can protect the bullpen a little bit better.
And you do wonder, and this is for every team, not just the Yankees, building up starters to 90 pitches.
Yep.
Not to 120. So 90 pitches in this day.
You're going to be short with your innings from your starters. That's all around baseball.
It's about all the injuries to starters, but I 1-2.
It's going to be his lane with Reynolds, the switch hitter, O'Neill Cruz, the big lefty waiting on deck, and your head.
From last year, and you might get some outs in that series as well. So all of these games are interconnected for sure.
Noon, and he's got to be the guy to give you would think, at least 6 innings.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeouts, Yankees 6 strikeout, brought to you by Audi and the 2025 Audi Q6. Visit your local tri-state.
That pitch.
Cruz with a high for out number 2. Time to name that Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain.
You're talking about a pitcher who threw before I was born. There's just no.
We have some time.
Noticing the name that Yankees.
I'm just curious, did Boone get?
I'm right there with you.
Popped up. Bellinger makes the play. Good inning for Hedrick as he retires the Pirates. We go to the 6th inning. And Judge swings and misses. Monitor Einstein scoreboard 4-1. And 52 years ago, a walk against Louis Tiant of the Red Sox. Slow roll on the check swing. Appreciated and what they mean to this world. I had 2 teachers, so I was in 6th grade. He was the greatest teacher I ever had, even in college, Mr. Wilkoff. And he knew how much I loved the game, put on PIX, and let me watch that at bat.
Ron Bloomberg.
Yep, and it stayed with me forever.
Now,
1-2. The public school was just too crowded. So they got a bowling alley with no windows, and they turned it into 5th and 6th grade. Windows in a bowling alley? No. Pulled over the head of Cruz in center field to score Bellinger from second. Heaney has pitched very well since.
Heaney up to his 84th pitch coming. He threw 79 his first outing, but
Time comes around. Maybe they could get a young player that they could take a flyer on and trade Heaney to a contender. Down on strikes.
his 9th strikeout of the app.
Robbed of a base hit. Diving play by O'Neill Cruz in center field. That was 2-0. And a 3-0 on Volpe. Wells is on deck. And a strike. 3-1. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience 0-1. High fly ball, shallow right. Left, we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Left-hander Barucki getting ready.
And they have Paul Skeens in his 2 games, sporting a 1.46 ERA. And the other 7.
Reinventing himself, changing his pitch mix, and it's definitely been on point this afternoon.
And he walks him. Hedrick in the 2nd inning of work. Will Warren, the starter, he went 4. Here's Manuel Valdez. Oh and 2. Valdez 1 for 2. Down to sack fly. Swing and a miss. Valdez.
2, it's 93, but you always watch the hitters. They're going to tell you. So if there's either good extension with his stride, good spin, but I mean, that's 92. I know he walked McCutchen, but you also like that.
Completely different than the number that it shows.
On any given day.
Two and 2 year veteran. Signed here before spring training.
The way he's carving up the Yankee lineup, he's going to be in there for a bit.